Good evening, everybody. Happy Thursday. It's looking like it's going to be a little bit of a technical Thursday here. We'll see if my brain can hold up. Hello, Charles. Hello, Nate. Oh, Nate. Nate. Thanks for redeeming Put on the Hat, Charles. Okay. So this will work out kind of okay. So I spent way too much time last night and today trying to get this where I wanted to be, and I am close. At least I think I am. Although I said that 4 hours ago, and this will be a good little refresher of everywhere that I've been today. So, yeah, we're gonna be a little technical here, and then we'll probably get back to the games. I am curious if anybody watched the Treehouse today for Nintendo. I did not. I'd be curious what people were seeing. I heard that in one of the articles I read online, which could mean anything, that people were demanding they lower the price, which I think Nintendo knows what they're doing with the price, so I don't think that's gonna happen. But you don't typically watch them. You watch the Treehouse? Anything exciting? Anything unexpected? Anything of the sort? While I get my Mac to someplace where I can talk through what I'm looking at. We do not want to reconnect this. Oh, do I want to roll with my mouse keyboard stuff? I'm used to like multitasking here with multiple displays, so I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll try it that way first, which means I gotta get the magic band and the phone someplace else here. Hold on. Reverse engineering crew, and they walked me through how to use a bit more in a way that better could reverse. Cool. I'd be curious as to what they did. Like, I'm assuming you had already got it back to assembly and stuff. Is that true? Or no? I don't know. Mario Kart does have tracks, it turns out. Each city location on the map is also a whole track. The tracks are connected together by roads in between the cities. Okay. Okay, well, we've answered the elusive track question then. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how best to do this comfortably. I don't normally do this type of development at my streaming desk, so I might end up having to flip back to my Mac, but we're gonna see if we can make this work. I think it's this button. There we are. Okay. You ready to go deep? You ready to go crazy? We're gonna pull up the packet logger first here. And we're gonna pull open. Actually, we're not. We're gonna open Xcode and we're gonna look at relevant data. Okay. So this section here is a good light up packet from the app. You had the assembly, but makes a lot of assumptions on how to decompile back to... okay. You have to massage it. Yep, okay, that makes sense. So this is what a good packet looks like, okay? And this right here is the first, in my current state, is where my packet is for the first packet. So you can see, you know, we've got the 0, the C, some dots, then there's some difference here for some reason, then we've got this custom magic band animation, play this, we've got the zeros, we got the CAs, and I want to make this clear, it's not, I'm not just pushing this data out this time. Like, I'm not just copying the other packet and sending it back out. This is being done in Xcode with protos. So this is what what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the proto right, so that theoretically we can go forward. And so right now, this is what my proto looks like. And it is wrong. But there were some other weird things, and I don't know a whole ton about Proto C, which is part of the problem here. And it probably would have been smart for me at this point to go back and actually read everything I possibly can on Proto C, because there might be something else that I'm missing here. But I want to... Why is the mouse doing what it's doing? I'm trying to use the KVM sharing stuff, and it's kicking me back to my PC constantly. Okay. And so what I've been doing is I've been massaging this, not that file, because that's the compiled version. I've been massaging this file, trying to get it where I think it needs to be. But before I go down that path, because that is where we're going to come back to here in just a little bit, I want to talk just briefly about the data as it stands and why I am still so confused. And there may be some magical way to make this work, but I couldn't figure it out, is probably the best way to say it. So I'm probably like, I'm getting everything that's in my brain right now out is not as easy as it sounds. So, back to the packet logger, because this is what I want to show. So, when we were looking at this data, we've talked through this a few times, but there are 4 packets that are currently making up the light up requests. And they all start with this 6-3, and then there's another digit or 2, and then there's some more stuff, and then there's some more, like all of this stuff. And I was running into 2 problems that I couldn't figure out how to explain. The first one was this 63000022, like at least to the 00, the second set of 00s, I could not get to work with Proto at all. Because this notation right here was changing. Like, it's not always 6-3, sometimes it's 6-4, sometimes it's 6-5, and I could not figure it out. And there's supposedly like a length component to it, but the problem is that it's on every one of these messages. And so if it is Proto C, I couldn't figure it out. And right before the last thing I did today, I discovered a tool online that is designed to reverse a blob of Proto, which I was like, where have you been all my life? And I had the tool, I just couldn't ever get it to work. And I finally put 2 and 2 together at some point this afternoon that there's something not right about these first few numbers. In fact, it's not right all the way to the OA in this first request here. And what became rather apparent is that at least these first 3 bytes here are also possibly not right. Now, this might be right to the 22. I haven't tried to go back and fix that, but this right here is where I ended up. Remember that they use nano PB. Oh, that's true. Does that change things? Hold on a sec. I didn't actually, that didn't even cross my mind either. Nano PB. I know we talked about it at one point, but I think that has more to do with compile, blah, blah, blah. So I should probably be compiling against nano. Is a small code size implement, and it's suitable for microcontrollers, but fits. kind of wonder how much of a difference it would make. And I don't think this would have solved my problem either. And you'll see why here in a second, because it doesn't even make sense. Because my understanding is these PB file, or the proto files, I'm looking on a different screen here, trying to figure out, like, do they have a... They have tests. Can I look at the tests? These tests aren't helpful. Examples. Simple. Simple.proto. Yeah. So the syntax, I guess I will be shocked if it's that different. But we might have to circle back to that. In any case, this is what I wanted to highlight, though. Like the big discovery isn't the right word, but the big thing that became apparent. So this 6-3, or this leading number, the 6-0, whatever it might be, I don't know that has any meaning. I haven't found anything that would indicate that, and in fact, if I go and I open up, I have a file here called Steps of 5 where I go through like all the colors on one of the magic bands, and you'll see that it, 6-0, 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 6-0, 6-1, 6-2, 6-3. So it cycles between those numbers at least somewhat, and I don't know, I couldn't find any reason for why it cycles between those numbers, and that is the one number that I might still have a problem with. This third digit, though, I am pretty certain is just a sequence number. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. And then down here, you'll see it again, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which that actually helped me see what the last number was, which the last one then is, it's a 0 if it's the first thing in the bundle. It's a 4 if it's a continuation. And then it's an 8 if it's the final in the grouping. I don't know. I don't think there are any other values. I never saw any other values, and that pattern held up everywhere that I checked. And then the next two digits are also a little bit weird. If it's the first, packet, it's always 0, 0. But every packet after that, or every thing after that, is the length of the packet. So ED is how many packets come after this. ED is how many packets come after. ED is how many packets come after. And then 13 is, and I don't mean packets, but bytes. How many bytes are after this point. And then, so these three right here show up just fine here. Okay, so this ED is this EA. So these... Oh! Okay, so then this is how many additional... No, I don't know what this one is. So this one how many packets more there are? So 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. This one says 3, and it has 3, but I'm missing... Yeah, so it's off by 1 how many additional there are. Okay. That helps. We're gonna... this is... just talking through this stuff, this is gonna help. So what's C4 then? C4 D0, C4, D0, D0. Wait, C4. C4 is paired with the 3. C4 is paired with the 3. D0 is paired with the 2. Maybe 2D0 is the total length of the message? Let's, hex to binary. Da, 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 da. Three C4. 964 is the binary for that. 964 EA is what? 234, so let's just do some math. 234 plus, what was the previous number I just said? 3C4. 964 is what we're going for. Hold on. $964, 234, and then ED is 237. So we're going to add 237 plus 237. We're doing a 3, so we're going to add one more 237. And then we're going to add a 13, which is 19. So plus 19 equals 964. What was the first number I said? Did I write it down? 964. We have it. Okay, so okay, this is good. I just need to be able to get my mouse back over to the Mac again. Come on, mouse. Stop coming back to the Windows machine. This thing is not as reliable as some of my other software for this. Okay, so let's go fix the Xcode real quick to account for all of this crazy. So you'd think I know my code by now. Okay, so if payload chunk, lower nibble, blah, blah, blah. If offset equals 0, we're going to set that to 0. Otherwise, it's an 8. Otherwise, it's a 4. That's corresponding to that number. So it's going to be a 0. And then we got to tack on some additional stuff, which is going to be the length. So we can actually do that right here. Then we have to be mindful. I didn't do something right here. Offset equals 0. We're going to switch the MTU for the sake of this. We're not actually changing the MTU. We need to get some padding out of this. Why is it not letting me type now? MTU invalid character. Why does equals... This KVM is horrible. MTU equals... It's going to equal 231, I think is what I said. I'm just going to work from the Mac because... my brain works better when the device works. 6300870A... This thing is brutal. Stop. You're so confused with the code doc. That's okay, Cassandra. The goal here, I'm not really trying to teach code. I'm trying to work through it, and having a sounding board is amazingly useful. In fact, I was using ChatGPT for a good portion today, showing it things and then having it spit back. And ChatGPT, not the best programmer when it comes to BLE stuff, but it did help me figure some stuff out. Like it was getting things blatantly wrong, but it was getting them wrong enough that I could see what it can move between data types so easily versus what I have to do right now, where I have to go, okay, I'm in hex, now I'm in binary, now I'm in whatever, decimal. And so it just does that, and it sees things that I don't see, which is great. Okay, so ED was what we saw here. This says 06. Let's not look at that one. Let's look at steps of 5 again. So it was EA Spolts. It's in the game. EA convert 234. So what we want to do is we're just going to shift this to be 234 for the first packet, because we're going to tack on some extra stuff. So that makes our header byte, at which point if offset equals 0, we're going to append we start appending the data. Why did I append a 0 here? Oh, because this is, okay, I know what's going on now. What did I just say this was? I just figured it out. It's the total length size, but it has, we're gonna append a 0 in hopes that we never have one that uses the first byte, and then we're gonna fragment.append data uint16. Can't type. Hopefully that's a type. It is. And we're going to append the total length, which is going to be data dot count. And I think I need brackets in there. No, I'm okay. So bracket, append. So we're going to append that, and then we don't need the else, because now we are always including the payload chunk size last. So now there's consistency in the code too, which is nice. So let's compile that. It's going to error. What are you complaining about? Where's my syntax error? Var MTU equals must have consistent white space on both sides. What? Oh, weird. There was a weird symbol there. It wasn't. No, that's not what it was. Invalid character. Am I just like... Switching between languages is annoying. Invalid character. What is it? I don't understand what's going on here. It's like I must have copied and pasted MTU. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's expecting uint 18 from the data because what's the right way to do this? I don't like our solution to this problem. Little binary math here. Hey, I don't know if that's gonna work, but we're gonna try it. I should get the second camera going. Where's the magic band? Okay, magic band, iPhone, second camera. Put that there. I'm not sure how well this is gonna. We'll do that. It'll work for now. Okay, app fired up. We do a connect. It connected. We do a discover. It turns blue. Tried that McDonald's nuggets with Minecraft Nether. It's got a mighty kick to it. Good to know. Send color. Oh, if I bit shift, it's modifying the... Not enough bits to represent the past value. Okay, let's just do this. Let's just... There's gotta be a better way to do this. Hold on. I don't know Xcode well enough. They have meal supplies for the in-game skin and toy at my location due to the weather preventing delivery of it. They said soon. Well, that's a bummer. Okay, let me just see. Let's undo what we've done here. I think we're close. It's just my math is wrong here. No, 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 no. Bear with me, everybody. Looking up Xcode stuff. Do, 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 do. Do I not have... This is the problem with bouncing between all the different things I've been bouncing between. Do. Okay, let's try. What if we get rid of the... Let's try this with unsafe bytes. I think we want to be in big endian, although there's a lot of questions about that on these things. Oh, is anybody going to the Minecraft movie tonight at midnight or tomorrow, whenever it opens? Out of curiosity. No? You gonna see it at all? Okay, so then we get number data, Then we do fragment.append number data. Recompile. Probably not, at least not willingly. Why don't you want to see it? Out of curiosity. Hitting the connect button. Connect. Connected. Discover. Blue light. And send. Okay, there was no error. Which means we now go back over here and we turn on the packet logger. We're just going to close that one. We'll go ahead and clear this one because I don't care. Start. Make sure we're getting packets. Send color again. Let's connect again. Discover. Blue light. And then send color. We did get something back. I just don't know what. Oh no, we have a problem. I can already see we have a problem. So the way I'm able to tell we have a problem already is it flipped from being a write request to a prepare write requests, which is what happens when you send too much data. So let's just see what we got here. So 6.3, that was what we wanted. 0.0, that is what we wanted. 0.0.0.3 OA. 3.0A is not what we wanted. Or is it? It is 0.0.3, isn't it? Payload. I need that set of 5 again. Maybe that was right. Open recent steps of 5. So 0002 DO EA. So it should be EA-ish. Might not be exactly EA, but I think I hard-coded it to EA, so. Value 000330A ED. It shouldn't be ED because that means the MTU didn't change. Oh, because somehow pending 1, 2, 3. We're pending 3, which means it's 237 minus 3 is 234. Payload chunk dot count. Payload chunk is the data. Payload chunk dot count needs to come after. These lines need to come later. Chunk size is not used before. Oh, it is though. It's used here. that should be fine. So that'll change the MTU, that'll change that. It should be like auto-calculating it, but I don't want to do that. Because there's a chance that this app won't work on iOS prior to iOS 14, because I think the max message size on iOS 14 is like 180. Which is a whole nother thing. But I'm not going to deal with that because I don't have that device. We're going to clear this. We're going to start again. Connect. We're connected. Discover. We're discovered. Send in color. Okay, so. Oh, look at those packets. Hey, Ms. Buggy, welcome on in. 63000003OA. 3OA should be the length of our entire thing. EA is the reduced length, and then 2287 is where our proto starts, I believe. So, this packet's right, that packet's right. We have the header right. However that's supposed to work, the header is now right. So, let's bounce back to the proto now, because that was the other thing I had just figured out beforehand. So, the proto, yeah, it's progress. I think I have this open on this machine. It's just gonna make it hard to put it on screen, but that's okay. So it starts OA7EA204. So I just want to make sure that we're still looking at the same data, that I didn't break something else. So this says EA, and then it says 22. Oh, because, okay, that's fine. 22's fine here, because it's not fine. It's fine because it's not fine. It's the wrong data. So we're kind of okay. Yeah. So now we got to figure this part out. And this is where I got to figure out how to interpret this. So it's showing a 1, a 2, and a 3. Followed by with a chunk. So I gotta interpret how this translates. So let's just see how close we kind of think we are. So this is the existing proto. So this whole part of the proto I'm beginning to wonder. 1, 2, 3. I wonder if this tool has the ability to generate a proto. I don't know why. Protobuf inspector. Why wouldn't you do that? If you were going to take the time to write this code, why wouldn't you just have it make the proto? Shows the fields in the order they are encoded in the wire, so it can be useful for wanting to familiar with wire format. That's fine with me. You can install blah blah blah, parsing errors, blah blah tricks. If you are positive that a variant does not zigzag encoding, whatever that means, I'm not positive about anything. That doesn't do me any good. So there is no flags for this type of stuff. See how it compares to the inspected actual? Oh, I suppose I could inspect my... That's not a bad idea. You're gonna make me work though, Nathan. Okay, so we have the data, that. So let's get the bad version now. This is... There's probably better ways to do this, but I'm going to do it the long way again. So just grab this. I don't know what you're talking about. Me working on this? I was at work. What were you talking about? No. I don't have any of my other windows. Where are all... Okay, let's just put this at the bottom of relevant data for now, until I can find a better way to do this. So that is... That is packet 1. Oh, I know why I can't swipe. Here, let's fix that problem. Boom. Now I can. The other thing I need to do one of these days, and I know there's a way to do it, I need to make Control-C be copy and paste on the Mac. Okay, so then we need to strip out, let's start from the top because it'll make more sense. So we need to strip out to here. We need to strip out to here. We need to strip out to here. We need to strip out to there. Looks less right, but it must be right. So then we highlight this, and can we do this right in here? Edit. I need a text editor. And we'll just use Google. Okay, so hopefully we've got the bad file now. We're going to cut that file. I believe you can right-click on the data to copy the raw. Where do I have to right-click? I don't see it. That works in that other program, Wireshark. But I don't think it worked, at least unless I'm not right-clicking. But I'm pretty sure I'm right-clicking. Back to Xcode. Go to this thing. Go to Protos. Right-click. Show in Finder. We're going to paste that file here. Why did it not paste the file? Okay, you may not paste it, but you will accept a drag and drop. Maybe. I really am not used to Macs, which is part of my problem here. Really? No cut? They also not allow dragging anymore? What is going on? There we go. We'll put it at the top level. So my file bad.dat. So then we're gonna go over here, my file bad.dat. Okay. Interesting. Huh. It is. What has me a little overly curious is that 4, the leading 4. I wouldn't think they're supposed to be out of numerical order. But maybe I don't understand what those are doing. Excuse me. What is those? One variant, 2 chunk, and then it jumps to 7. Why? What are those numbers meaning? I don't understand what those numbers represent. Yeah, but why is it allowed to start at 4? And even in their example online, it goes 1, 2, 7, 8. Like, what happened to 3 through 6? There's a configuration tutorial. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you're positive about the type of fields, I see what you're talking about now. You can tell that the protobuf inspector to help it parse your message better to do this, blah, blah, blah. I don't have that. Let's say we're talking about that blob. Field 1, field 7, we can also put names after we get this, blah, blah, blah. Wire type 2. Oh, message types. Staying with our... But then what's 4? Enum types. 4 leave connect. Maybe I'm not interpreting what they're saying correctly. I'm trying to read fast, which isn't necessarily the right way to read these type of things. I still don't know what the 4 represents. It's a field number. That much I know, but why? Where does it think it's getting that from? Three, 4, 4, 1. 84. That's the wrong packet. So 228706 2287. 07060A. The good one starts with... Oh, see, now I have new questions. Okay. 6-3, we got that. Then these two are always 0. These 4 are byte size. That's the length of the message. And then we hit EA. EAOA 7A, which is not... I gotta check something. We started at... That EA is not in my original file. Oh no, EA is the length. Okay, no, that's fine. So OA is where the good packet starts. What does the order... Well, yeah, so yeah, I guess we can just go make modifications to this. So it's saying, because I left all of these blank, the directive became 4. So we don't want to do that. So we want to... We're going to break this down into 3 things. So we're going to call this directive 1. I'm probably going to do this wrong, but I'm going to learn. One way or another, I'm going to learn. So then we go back over here. So the directive is 1. Then we'll call this section the... I don't know. We're just going to call this... directive... extra. And we'll call this extra equals 2. And then we'll do payload equals 3. Yeah, that makes sense to me. So then the directive contains... This part I think we actually have pretty close. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are those all right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is the wrong value, but that's not on that. So we are fine through 5. Then this becomes message extra. And oh, this may actually give away something too. So let's do 1, and then we're gonna call this key magic key. Key equals 2 message magic key, which for some reason has a second. Has another one. So we'll just do super key equals 1. Message, yeah. This seems silly, but we're gonna do it anyway. Message actual, or we'll call this super key. Super key. Let's not follow standards. Check out Coding Programming Gurus. What? Oh, you're talking about skipping it for getting into Windows 11 or whatever? Wait, this isn't the serial number though. This is the first one's serial number. So let's change this one to be protocol version. Change this to be serial number. Yeah, one of the advantages I have, Squeezy, in life, with all of my jobs is I am a volume license customer with at least 5 different venues. So the enterprise editions of Windows don't have that problem. But so I never have to worry about it. I just hit join a domain and it does its thing. And in fact, I don't even have to hit it if I script it right, so it doesn't matter to me. But I understand why it's important, because, yeah, retail copies are annoying. You gotta have them Microsoft accounts. So serial number key becomes magic key becomes 2. Super key becomes super key 1. String, this is unlock. I'll just call it final key equals 1. Okay, so theoretically, that gets us to right here. And then payload pops us back out. And the only thing in payload now is data with a no, wait a second. This isn't even embedded. This is there. Squeezy, wait. Squeezy, did you recognize that because the word Alexa was in the header of my things? Or did you recognize that because you know Proto C from doing Alexa development? Because if it's the second one, I have questions. We are not working on an Alexa project so much as a Disney project, except it is an Alexa project because these crazy little magic bands right here are actually Alexa gadgets, which just makes the confusion all the more confusing. Okay, fair enough, Squeezy. Because I was really hoping for you to be randomly an Alexa expert that just happened to arrive in chat, because that would have made my life a little easier. Okay, so we've fixed that, but now all of this is gonna error. Yay! Okay, so we gotta go get the right name. So Alexa Gadget message is still the right name. Alexa Gadget message. So what all did we leave? I don't even know what we left. We left the directive and extra are now a thing. So let's just do these things in order. So there's the directive. This is going to become payload. That's an easy one. And that's not even data. It's just like that now. So payload is done. Directive gets made as directive. And then we left namespace. Namespace, name, message ID, client ID, protocol version. So namespace, name, message ID, client ID, and protocol version, serial number got moved, which we will put down here. Then this is no longer this. This is now extra. It would be nice. And we don't care about this naming convention. We care about code, that naming convention. That was the wrong button. Control Z. Okay, so then what did we name it? Just serial number? Okay, so that's the serial number, and then we gotta get a little bit more crazy. So then message.extra.key equals custom Disney Magic Band magic key. Then we do message.extra.key.superkey equals custom Disney Magic Band super key. Then we do message.extra.key.superkey dot final key equals this. We get rid of these two lines right here. We change this to a 3. Yeah, only the best naming conventions. Magic key, super key. It's all just to build structure. We don't actually know what these things are. That might not be a key at all. For all we know, it's a random MD5 checksum of something or another, which is gonna make me mad because that value right there, that key, is probably what's gonna hose me. When all this is said and done, that's the thing that's gonna hose me. What, or message ID or client ID, one of them. Okay, so we're going to play. It's recompiling on my phone. Build succeeded. I always like that message. We're gonna go back over to Proto. You know what? I can just, well, we'll clear this. Connect. Connect. Connected. Discover. Discovery messages sent and succeeded. Sending color message now. That's not a good sign. Okay, so the not a good sign part is that we didn't even get a official response. I'll sign up for the quantum computer and we can reverse. See, that's what I'm telling you. Can I send you those message IDs? Which ones? What? I'm looking at a whole lot of stuff here, Nate. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this one. One's in the proto file. I can already tell you that none of them would make... The only one that might be would be the final key. And the reason I say that is because they are not consistent. Let me show you. Let me come back to that. I don't have a really good way to send. I don't have Discord on. At least I don't think I have Discord on. Do I have Discord on here? Yeah, I don't have Discord on my Mac for some strange reason. Let me see if I can get them to you here in a minute. But before I do, I'll show you why I don't think it's gonna matter. But let me finish this train of thought before I lose it. So we're gonna replace our bad one now with this. No, we're not. We're gonna go back over here. We're going to expand that one. We're going to expand that one because I like seeing all of it. We're going to copy this. We're going to scroll over here. Now we're gonna paste it. delete whatever that is, because it's fluff, and we're just gonna stare. I'm gonna stare at the bigger screen. Okay. Holy buckets. That's a match. What doesn't... That's a match. Okay. So... But why... Okay. Why? They aren't a match? Where are they not a match? Yeah. Well, oh, okay. You're right. They are not a match because this is the serial number of the other Magic Band. For the sake of it, you know what? Let's do that. Let's send... I want to see if that brings the error back. Because the thing that's bothering me is we're not getting the error response that I was getting last night. We're not getting any response after sending them what is a fairly legitimate packet. But that was because I was trying to make this work. Okay, so that's the original Magic Band. But this may have inadvertently let us down. If this does something, then we know that somehow this value is tied to this value. Watch it just be a straight MD5 of it. Or something like that. It'd be ridiculous if that's what it is. Clear. Connect. Discover. Blue lights. Start recording. Send color. Yeah, we're getting no response. $2,270. Okay, here's what we're gonna do though. So now we're gonna leave this. And we're gonna go to the Disney app. Hello, Walt Disney World. How are you today? And we go to Magic Bands and Cards. We're gonna clear this. We're gonna click here. It's gonna generate some random junk over there. We're going to... Ooh, it's having a hard time connecting because I'm already connected. So we're going to close my app. There we go. Change color. Clear. Okay, we're gonna do red. Oh, weird. It didn't... Wait a second. Red. Okay, it did light it up. There's supposed to be another response to this. There's the D100 Platinum one. There's the Celebrate one. There's the Play in the Park one, which is a longer one. So I'm going to play around with the Play in the Park one. Oh no, it wasn't longer. It's still... Three, yeah, okay. It was a little longer, not a lot longer. Don't want the response. There we go. Okay. We go to relevant data. We're not going to wipe that out because we've been comparing against that the whole time. Okay, so .f.c. That f corresponds to the 66, which that can be pretty much anything as far as I'm concerned. I don't think the 66 matters, but we will come back to that in a minute. Because if we go back and we look, although 64, 65, 66, yeah, I don't think it matters. It might. It might be like some count of something, but I don't know what it's a count of if it is. So yeah, we'll come back to that one. Okay, so we'll ignore the F. All of that's fine. Okay, so this value is different. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take that value and we're gonna go drop it into Xcode, which happens to be on this screen. Okay, so that one changed. Howdy, fourth. ED whatever. This one does not look like it changed. Oh no, it did. Okay. Version number is still 3. That all looks 34235. That's got the serial number as I had it, so that was actually right to begin with. And then this value changed as well, which isn't surprising. Fourth, I'm just curious, you in on Monday? I think I saw a thumbs up, but I wasn't sure. Just thought I'd ask for clarification. Don't forget to update the serial number in Xcode. It is. I didn't need to update it because it already was. Oh wait, you're right. We gotta put it back. Thank you. Okay, so that's everything other than I haven't updated the payload. I should update the payload. I don't want to update the payload. Nah, don't do it. Try it without updating the payload first. You know, it depends on if any of those are checksums. Connecting. Connected. Discover. Good. Before I hit send color. Clear. I can always regenerate what I had. Send color. It's not doing anything. We're gonna go get the color code again. We're gonna get it a second time and do a little cross comparison. Do 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 do. Okay, so it was 62 that time. I'm gonna do it again. 63 that time. 60 that time. 61 that time. 62 that time. 63 that time. 60 that time. So it's cycling with a 6 and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, but I don't know how much that matters. Are those message ID and client ID unique every time you press the button in the app? Let's find out. Okay, so I've closed that app for the moment. Let's stop this. Okay, this was the exact same button push over and over and over again. So we got 196 and 77F. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. We have 507 and 03A. For CA 867. C17OEF. So, yes, but hold that thought for a moment. So what was the first one we did? 6100. We haven't actually looked at 6100 again. Where's 6100? Hello, 6100. 8A2917. What was the first one? Okay, so neither one of those were the same. Now, I actually think that is in our favor. For these two. Because what that means, I think, although that assumed that I had, wait, hold on. This is us sending data. So yeah, we don't, okay, hold on. My brain is thinking that it's possible that these are UUIDs, in which case they don't matter at all. Like, they might just be random message identifier stuff that have no meaningful meaning, because there is a call for that, if you will, in the Alexa spec. So it's very possible that that's what those two things are. Possibly. But they're not checksums, at least not in any way that I can think they would be, because they didn't have any data to start from, and they didn't yield the same data twice, so that doesn't make sense. Let's look at this last one. E4BE 196D. That's not great. 01D3 990 B256. And that's the 6100 again. Yeah. So my assumption here is if I took the time to rip every one of these and then drop the data in with the same, well, it doesn't, and drop the data in, I'll just say it that way, then it should work. Which would then confirm that it is somehow a check. So we're going to do that. It'll take but a minute to reassemble this data. Maybe a little more. Okay, so then we remove, I believe it's the first 5. A8. Wait. Oh yeah, no, that'll be fine because it's base 64 encoded. Oh, so then it's the first. It's the first 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so it's the first 6 that get removed. Let's back up because I don't know what I did. This is where I should pull out ChatGPT, because ChatGPT can do this in a second. Maybe. Let's do this though, because under your assumption, I should be able to send this once, have it work, and then change the code and still have it work. And in fact, we can play that game with all 3 values, because it might not be that all 3 values are involved. And if it is a hashing situation, odds are only one of them is involved. One of them is an input and one of them is an output. But we would have a hard way of knowing that. Can you? I've never tried. It's not something that I typically do. How do you do vertical text selection? Teach me something. I don't know that. Option shift click. Okay. I will try that in a second here. just copy this part, even though all of it is there. Back to Xcode. We're gonna put that down here at the bottom just so I have it as well. So this should be roughly the same length. It was 1 character shorter. Could mean I made a mistake. It could also mean that life is good. Here goes nothing. Connect. I should probably have the packet sniffer going. Discover. There's our blue light. It worked! Is anybody shocked? It worked! On one hand, I'm going to say yay to that only because that's the first time it's worked where I did it from a proto. So we've got the proto where it needs to be. I'm pretty happy about that. Now I'm going to hit send color again and see if it still works. It still works. So sending the value multiple times doesn't matter. It will take it repeatedly. Okay, so now let's go mess it up. We're gonna change the 5 to a 6. So this is now a 6 in the message ID. Connect. Discover. Send. Still worked. Okay, so breaking the message ID had no impact. Let's break the client ID. We're going to change the E to F. I'm going to make a note here. Probably random. Not used. Okay. We're going to connect. We're going to discover. We're going to send color. No impact. No impact either. Okay, now for the mean one. This is going to be the mean one. Although it might just be a check of the payload, which would make it significantly easier to debug. If this works, I will be thoroughly confused. Connect. Discover. That was weird. Connect. Discover. Okay. Send color. It still worked. I don't understand. So all of those values I was able to change. And either I got really, really lucky. I mean, maybe. So now I'm going to change them all back at once just to... Actually, should we have a little bit of fun? This is going to be messy. but I'm now curious. So, connect, discover, blue light, send, still works. Okay, so now, it was 1 byte different, you're right. So, this is where we pull out another magic band. And we turn it on. This one is a little low on battery. Now, there's a few interesting things about this. One, this color pattern isn't part of this magic band. Okay, it's sitting on a charger here. So we're gonna scan. I'm gonna reload this app. Now I don't have it set to pick up the serial number. That is an issue. And it might be a bigger issue. We'll see what happens here. Amazon, Gadget, Alexa. Good. Why are you not seeing this magic band? Did I not actually turn the magic band on? Oh. Okay, it connected. Now we locked in the thing, so then, but it's still in Bluetooth mode, which is fine. Okay, I'm gonna put it back on the charger here for a second. Come on, get on the charger. I'm not a fan of how they charge these things. Am I putting it on backwards? No. Okay, we're on the charger. Connect. We're gonna restart the app. Too many dev apps. Okay, so it saw both of them. Connect. Connecting. It got it encrypted. It got connected. Sending discover packet. It turned blue. Don't really care about that, but it did what it should be doing. Send color. It did not do that. And I was recording, thankfully. Oh, now this is interesting. It replied with something. Error response. Execute gadget failed. So, what if it's execute gadget failed because we didn't send the serial number? What if that's the big problem? Okay? Because that's something we know we're not sending. So, we could just change out the serial number. That's no fun. We need to actually get the serial number stored. Well, hold on. Before we go to all that trouble, let's put the serial number for this one in and just see what it does. Execute gadget failed. I understand that. When you gave me back the serial number up here, what was it? There's Hawkeye. right response. Sorry, looking too many lines. This looks like the line I'm looking for. There we go. So here is this Magic Band serial number. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just making sure. We're going to recompile this program. Moment of truth. Connect. Connected. Discover. Discover worked. Waiting. And send. Nothing. Was I recording? I was. Same response. Execute gadget command failed. And just to confirm that we did get an updated app, what serial number did we send? Yep, 135. That's the newer serial number. I am curious. So now let's go back to this Magic Band. Connect. My app doesn't fail gracefully here. Although it's interesting that it put this one in an error state. Connect. Discover. That's fine. Send color. Interesting. I'm just going to do it one more time. Send color. Same thing. Got the same error. Okay, so one thing we know is that the serial number must be correct. So serial number must be correct. That's our first takeaway, I think. Connect. Discover. Turn blue. Send color. Looking good. Okay, so we got back to, we can send the color back to that one. So, I mean, we have the obvious thing that I have to get the serial number out of here. Like, that's a given. Which, that's not a problem because it's sent to me as part of the pairing process. None of the numbers are consistent. Okay, I'm gonna go down a different path. I'm not gonna worry about ripping the serial number for the moment because that is, in my mind, trivial. That's just gonna be a matter of taking code and parsing out what I need and spitting it back in. What I want to do is go look at our documentation for a moment. So we know there's a discover. We know there's a discover response. We know that there's an error response. State listener connectivity. We have a session lifestyle, custom animation, asset, gesture, system in park, which we know very little about any of those things. What I'm curious about is the gadget state listener. Let's back out of this program. Because I'm curious if the state listener has those same 3 arbitrary values. Okay, so changing the vibration setting does not get it to trip a vibration. Let's do this. Proto C. I'm looking to see if I can find a Proto C for state listener. Response, device information, device features, firmware component, control envelope. Descriptor, get device features, response. I'm going to put this on the screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. Error code, device features, firmware. That's the Python. We don't want that. What's this one look like? Here's state listener. Set alert directive, delete alert directive, speech marks directive. So assuming all of these state update directive, but state update directive is what it has, right? That's, where's the wiki? I lost the wiki again. To implement vibration feedback using this, you'll need to use BLE interface to your Alexa skill and trigger a vibration. So should we see if we can make it vibrate? Okay, I gotta get my brain back into that mode here is my problem. Okay, so for the moment, we're just gonna... How different is it? Is this? Do I have this one? Alexa Gadget State Listener? Payload states. So state update. The directive is... I'm really bad at interpreting these things. I kind of want to just rewrite it. I need to use the interface, Alexa. So Alexa Gadget State. Alexa Gadget State Listener, State Update Directive. State. Can I just use my existing one somehow? Hold on. Let me look at this. So the directive has... I think my brain has reached melt. Message option namespace equals directive header. What if I just copy that? That looks like the entire thing. Header 1, and then what did they set them to? So then I lost that other screen that I just had. Where'd it go? So type and payload. The payload looks like... language are we in? We are in C. Okay. Decode protobuf encoded. I don't want to do that. I want to encode. Decode event. Encode set indicate. See, we're coming at this from the wrong side of things. We're coming at it from... Set indicator. Don't care about that. Code sample discover, don't care about that. Encode sample state update. Ah, here we go. So the header looks somewhat similar. But the states are manually specified. Let's just see what other ones there are. Yeah, let's just try to fake it. I don't think this is gonna work, but we're gonna use the same directive. We're gonna skip over extra, and then for payload, I think we're gonna create something that looks like this. So it's got a name and a value. Name and a value. But the type here has to be... So that's going to come back up in the directive. So... I don't know, is that an int? States, name, so it looks like it's string. This is not proper organization. This is not proper anything. Just trying to make it work. So we have now an object in here called Alexa Vibrate. We're going to go back to our view controller. So when we push the button, var message equals this. Then we're going to do message.directive, and we're just going to copy what we did before, except for now, instead of it being that, we're gonna do Alexa.gadget.state listener. And we're gonna do vibrate. And we'll just set the message ID to some random number. So I don't think it's gonna matter. Then we're gonna do message.payload equals custom Disney Magic Vibrate payload. Message.payload.name equals duration. Message.payload.value equals 500. Sure. Then copy and paste that. Message.serialized data. Don't care about the play message thing. Ooh, that's gonna be a problem though. Maybe. Well, let's start here and see what happens, because it's adding in those extra packets. What did I skip? I am basing this proto off of this, which may be entirely incorrect. I also missed the states field in the process. You can see the vibrate string. So that is coming from over here with the type being gadget.statelistener.vibrate. Could all be wrong. What are we comparing about? Cannot find in scope. It's right there. Why are we out of scope all of a sudden? That's not supposed to be there. Oh, sorry. Too many computer screens. So I was following this for an attempt at making the directive, and I cut some corners and I reused some stuff that possibly I shouldn't have reused, but that's neither here nor there right now. So we've got the namespace, the header, and then the payload. This is similar to what we had before, and then the states thing might be missing. I was also looking at this one, which has states, states.name.value and name.value. And then if we go back up here, one level, we've got the payload and the header here. So I was following those things for state update. And then as far as where I was figuring out vibrate, and who knows if I can trust Google AI, but Google AI made a reference to, and this is the Python way of doing things, that type is alexa.gadget.statelistener, and then the name would be vibrate with the payload with a duration of 500. So it's probably not going to work, but you know, I can hope. It's an education in wasn't paying attention. Oh, connect, discover. That's interesting. Didn't light up like it normally does. Let's do it again. I don't know why it's not lighting up. That's okay. Send color. Yeah, it's not liking that. And it's not vibrating. Which, that doesn't surprise me. Because I highly doubt that Alexa includes these leading bits. I could be wrong. There could be other problems too, though. So there we have Alexa.gadget.statelistener vibrate duration 500 with a random ID included. I mean, it looks like all the data's there. We don't have sample data, though. But it should be the same as making any other Alexa gadget vibrate. So we should be able to get sample data somewhere. I don't know. This is I mean, I'm guessing there's some formatting thing wrong, but I have no idea where to start to look. You know what? It's 8:13. We've hit the 2-hour mark here, which is generally quitting time for me. And since I am at a stuck point, I think I am going to pause there. Nate, you want the Xcode? That's what you want? Do you have all the stuff you need to compile? Okay. You would need the proto file and the view controller because of the way I wrote this. That is all you would need. Or I could get the whole thing and zip it up. I will do that. That's probably a better idea. There's a lot of extra crap in here though, because I just throw things in the folder all the time. Yeah, it's already all zipped up in the Xcode project file, so it's just... yeah, it's just going to be this entire folder. Okay. And like I said, there's a lot of... I want to make this very clear. This is not in any way clean code. And there's all sorts of little test things that I was putting in places, and yeah. Doesn't look near as good as your newly reformatted Wikipedia page. I mean, look at this, guys. Look at... I know I showed this on stream already, but look at... He's got the E905s all cleaned up. He's got the E906s cleaned up. He's got the E908s cleaned up. He's got the E909s cleaned up. That's cool stuff, man. I'm excited to see you do E913 and E912, because those are probably the ones that I have the absolute least amount of knowledge about. Yeah. These are gonna be far more fun. And yeah. I don't know what else I was gonna say. But I will drop this too for Nate. No. You don't have work to do. I mean, theoretically, you're picking up where I stopped. So I just appreciate it, because at some point, gosh, who knows when, at some point, I will be making Dress 4.0. And when I get around to making Dress 4.0, I will go code in all of the other light stuff that I don't currently have. So, you know, I don't have any of the timings loaded in. I don't have any, you know, weird patterns to the whole thing. So I'll just go through these functions, and I'll make that all cool. The other thing that I wouldn't mind doing, and this, I think this would just be funny, it would be to build a Magic Band simulator for like the iPhone or for Droid, and have it like literally, or build your own Magic Band, I guess, with like a Nano or a ESP32 or something. But I guess that's technically what I'm doing with the other things. But doing it with like the phone, where like it would just have like the five LEDs, or maybe even have an image and have it represent what's going on, would be a fun little way to make sure that like when you're out in public, because I have the start of a recorder for my phone, and I have my recorder, my ESP32 recorder, but it'd be fun to be able to watch it being recorded, and that's on my list as well. But right now, I don't know. This is where my brain, I think, lets go for the night. So we're gonna raid Ninja Weasel Plays and see what he's up to. I'm sure he's not live, just to make it more fun for me, and he's probably playing that Mickey Mouse game, which fits even better with today's theme and Disney and all that fun stuff. Take the Magic Band photos. Yeah, exactly. You could have it do that. And make like the thing. I wonder how hard, they all have an ID number in that one little file. I wonder how hard it would be to get every single Magic Band image that exists. I didn't notice if they were encoded at all. That'd be another, start a database of all Magic Bands. Heck, we would know the Magic Bands probably before they came out, because they would be in the database. I don't know if that's doable. Great. More questions. More projects. More insanity. Yeah, in any case. We'll be back tomorrow night for Fast Friday. It is not a board game night, I don't think. So we'll be here to race some Nintendo World Championships, then race some Tetris probably, then I don't know, maybe we'll race some F-Zero or something. I don't think we'll do any coding tomorrow night, unless I get hung up on this all day tomorrow again. So with that, stay healthy, you guys. Stay safe. And until next trip, see ya.